you will never regret not drinking. You will never regret choosing your life. You will never regret choosing your family. I didn't think I was an alcoholic. I thought I was just a fun mom. I thought drinking wine and seltzers until I passed out was just what adults did to cope with anxiety and crazy kids and barking dogs. My daughter told me she didn't like it when I drank, and my son started questioning what is wrong with mommy. If you are sitting there thinking you can't have fun without alcohol or that your friends will judge you, I want to show you exactly how I went from spending over $200 a weekend on booze to having the best relationship of my life with my family. Since stopping, I have lost, well, in the beginning, I lost about 15-ish pounds. I've saved literally thousands of dollars. We used to drop 60 on dinner drinks or more, and at least over 200 on camping booze. I mean, camping used to be about probably $600 in booze and food because you have to have all the junk. The biggest stat that matters isn't the money, it's literally the time. I stopped blacking out. I stopped waking up next to the toilet. I stopped passing out before dinner. I stopped passing out at the dinner table. I got my evenings back. And because I got my evenings back, I got my self-respect back. Here's exactly what I had to change to make this stick. I used to be the person who ruined all the events. I couldn't go to a party without being the drinker. It was my identity. The hardest part wasn't the physical withdrawal or the mental withdrawal. It was the ego. I had to admit that I was using alcohol to numb out my overstimulation. When my kids got crazy, I drank. When I was anxious, I drank. When I was having an overload of feelings, I drank. I remember waking up with inflammation, my back hurting, my stomach being bloated, looking at my belly just getting more bloated and blaming everything except the alcohol. When I finally did 75 hard, the first 3 weeks were brutal. I wanted to drink so bad, but then something clicked. I went camping sober. I cooked dinner. I didn't pass out. I did my workouts. I hung out with my kids. I remembered the whole entire camping trip. And for the first time in years, I woke up without shame. That feeling of waking up proud of yourself, that is better than any buzz I ever had. How did I actually stick to it when my friends were drinking? I used 3 rules. The first one is the overstimulation plan. I realized I drank because I was overstimulated a lot. And I dive into this in a lot of ADHD stuff because I do have ADHD. So the overstimulation is definitely part of my life. Now, when the kids get crazy, I don't go grab a seltzer. I just step away. I breathe. I take 10 to 15 minutes. I learned that I needed a break. I did not need a blackout. If you are a mom, you don't need the wine. You don't need to fall into mommy wine culture. You need silence. You have to fight for that silence. Rule number 2 is the financial audit. I stopped lying to myself about the money. I looked through our bank statements, the dinners, the liquor store runs, the grocery shopping bills, the camping trips, everything, the kids' birthday parties. It was thousands. If you want to quit, look at the numbers. It literally made me sick, but it also motivated me to build wealth instead of just pissing it away. And number 3, the identity shift. I stopped saying, I'm trying to quit, and started saying, I don't drink. When you say, I'm trying, you are a drinker who is struggling. When you say, I don't drink, you are a non-drinker. It shuts down the peer pressure instantly. My real friends said, Megan, I'm proud of you. The ones who didn't, they weren't my real friends. I know the first 30 days are the hardest. I actually put together a simple sobriety survival checklist. It's just the list of things I drank instead of alcohol, how I handled the anxiety, and what I told my friends. It's completely free, and I linked it in the description below just to help you get through that first month. You don't realize you have a problem until you have a problem. I wasted years being the fun mom who was actually just absent. And it's really sad. I can't get back those 6 or 7 years. Don't wait until you ruin another event. Don't wait until your kids are asking, Mommy or Daddy, please quit drinking. If I can do this starting from blackouts and anxiety, you can do this. I know I say this, but just stop. You will never regret not drinking. You will never regret choosing your life. You will never regret choosing your family. And if you need help, you know where to find me. I'm here. I was in your shoes. Maybe I don't have a hospital story. Maybe I don't have a liver that's dying. I do have a heart condition that I recently learned about. That's on me. I'm not sitting here pointing fingers and saying I was worse or better than anyone, because the longer I am sober, the more I realize how much trauma I have held on to for decades. I'm going to be 39 years old. That's a lot of years that I did not do any of the internal work. I didn't have coping skills. I was never taught. I didn't have the guidance. A lot of us don't, especially when you grow up in families that are surrounded by alcohol. Be the reason your kids don't drink. Show them coping skills, show them guidance, be there for them. Don't let addiction follow them either. Do not. It's up to you to better your life, and you truly have to want it. It goes back to that day in my kitchen when I sent my friend a picture at 45 days sober, 45 days out of my 75 days. I poured out the alcohol. I sent a picture and I said, I don't ever want to drink again. I realized how much better my life was without the alcohol, without numbing, without escaping. Yeah, have I had to face some really hard things since I quit drinking? Have I had a lot of hate? Have I had a lot of evilness? Have I had a lot of spiritual warfare? Have I had people send anonymous emails and make up fake accounts to try to tear me down just because I'm doing better? Yes, I've faced attacks nobody should. I don't know if anybody else in the sober community has ever faced some of the things that I have. Like I said, maybe I don't have liver failure, and maybe my kidneys are still intact, and maybe I don't look like I lived on the streets. The things that I have gone through, I'm willing to talk about. And that is how I help people that are, my clients. I have such a past that is really hard to talk about to the public because of the shame. And I mean, I've gotten so many comments accusing me of doing this and doing that and assuming that I was this type of person and that type of person. Well, maybe your assumptions are right. But you know what? I didn't have the guidance. I didn't have some of these things that I am now teaching my own daughter, that you do not have to act a certain way. You don't have to be talked to a certain way. You do not have to be a people pleaser. You do not have to fall into peer pressure. You don't have to say yes just because you feel bad. You don't have to say yes just to make yourself feel better or think that you need to say yes because you need to fit in. You don't have to. Being shown the right way to cope with life's shit that it throws at us. You're going to have to face it sober or drunk. Why not learn to heal from it? Why not learn to navigate it and actually heal from it? Why just keep numbing with the bottle? The bottle's not saving your life. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Nobody told me that I should stay sober during my journey in 75 Hard. Nobody told me to quit drinking. Yeah, my husband wanted me to quit drinking several times. You should probably not drink anymore. You know how many times I was threatened? A lot. You know how many times I would take a break from drinking and then just go right back to it? Nothing kept me away from alcohol until the moment that I decided that I wanted it for myself. You have to decide that you want it for yourself. If you went through high school drunk like I did, if you went through college drunk and got kicked out, well, I didn't get kicked out. If you haven't excelled in jobs, if you just keep getting held back in this life, you don't have anything to look forward to because all you care about is when you're drinking next. You have to let that go. If you want a better life for yourself, if you don't, that's up to you. That's totally on you. But deep down, if you really, really want this for yourself, the ones I see that stay sober are the ones that truly do the work, truly figure out where these emotions are coming from, these triggers, and navigating them, riding the waves, waiting that 10 to 15 minutes for that urge to pass. They're not falling into it. They're not letting alcohol win. You have to realize that you are powerless and you have to take your power back. If you're young and you're watching me, then stop now before it gets worse. You don't want the detective showing up to your house. You do not want to have to face some of the shame that I've had to face. Yeah, I made the decisions. I have to live with the consequences. And that is because I chose to drink. I'm not blaming it on anyone, but at the same time, alcohol makes you make really poor decisions. And when you keep getting shame thrown at you, it's never going to help you heal. You have to heal yourself and you have to forgive yourself. People will try to pull you down, come from the depths of your past and try to knock you down. But that is where I'm saying that spiritual warfare happens because you're doing good and somebody wants to tear you down. Stay on your feet. Fight for your sobriety. Do not let that demonic bottle bring you back down and have to start all over again. You deserve so much better for this life, just like I did. My kids deserve a better mom. My husband deserves a better wife. I deserve a better self. Don't give in after 3 weeks. Keep going. It took me 45 days to wake up and realize that alcohol was not serving me, that I was so much better without alcohol. Once that bloat went away and the scale started going down, yes, I was also eating better, not eating sugar, and I was working out. So that is part of my weight loss. You cannot just quit drinking and expect to lose 30 pounds right away. You can, but you have to also eat better, drink the water, and do the exercises. I get so many testimonies every single day, and that is what keeps me strong and sober. Because trust me, 2025 was a shit show of a roller coaster, the scariest roller coaster I've probably ever been on, and I never want to experience that again. So that is why I play that tape forward and know that drinking will never come back to my life because I will not let it. I will not let it destroy me. I will not let the people from my past destroy me, and I will not let haters, stupid comments, disrespectful people bring me down. I am here because I love the way I feel sober. Yeah, do I love feeling all the feelings and the emotions? They're not fun. But guess what? How do you get through life just numbing them? There's no I I could have started drinking the day that my grandma passed away at the end of December, but I did not. I had to feel it. I had to literally feel my heart break. And that is not fun. But guess what? It makes me stronger so I can get through even harder things in life. If I can do it, you can do it. Because I am surrounded by buttholes in my life. And only a handful of people that are close to me are proud of me and support me. I may say I have a tribe, but you know what? My tribe may be only 3 people. That's fine. My tribe might be my YouTube community, and the people that I connect with on a daily basis. You just have to find a community. You have to find what is best for you, and you have to stick to it. So don't forget to look in the description for that link and get started.